Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Life with Shenita. I am Dr. Shenita Connolly, your host for the evening, and I am so excited to share this platform this evening with some incredible people. And we're going to talk about love and Black history. And as you all know, they go hand in hand. So I would like to ask you guys to do something for me. I would like for you all to share this live, share this broadcast, because I think there is valuable information that's going to be shared this evening that everybody needs to hear. So if you would like and share the broadcast. So let's talk about love and let's talk about Black history just for a moment. So anybody that knows me knows that I absolutely believe in the power of love. So let's talk about how it's defined briefly. Love is a deep, profound affection and commitment towards another person, characterized by care, respect, and a desire to see them happy, often encompassing a complex mix of emotions, including intimacy, passion, and trust. So, I also want to add that love is unconditional. When you truly love someone, it is not based on what they have, what you have, but it is unconditional. So, we'll weather the storms regardless. So let's talk about how Black history is defined or how important Black history is. We all know that February is Black History Month, and I am Black and I'm proud. I want to say that first and foremost. Black History Month highlights the significant contributions of African Americans to society. It confronts the realities of racism and discrimination. It provides a deeper understanding of American history, inspires activism, and encourages critical thinking about the past and the present by recognizing the often overlooked achievements of Black individuals across various fields. So, with that being said, I love our people. I love myself. I love people in general. But we're going to focus on Black people tonight. And so, with that being said, I have some amazing people, as I said earlier, that I'm inviting into the platform to share this conversation with me. And to begin with, let's start with, because I always believe ladies are first. So, let's start with Dr. Franda Clay. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Shenita.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Dr. C?
Wonderful, Dr. C.
Right.
So good to have you here tonight.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for saying yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so with that being said, let's invite Miss Vicki Holloway into the platform. Well, I guess we were going to invite her in, but we'll give her a moment to come back. So with that being said, let's invite, oh, there she is. Okay, how are you? We can't hear you.
I'm sorry about that. I'm wonderful.
Glad to have you. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
So next up, we have Team Scales, young but vibrant and powerful.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you all?
We're doing great.
Wonderful. Thank you all for saying yes and being a part of this conversation this evening.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And last but certainly not least for this moment is Dr. Keith Horton. Welcome to the platform, Dr. Horton.
Glad to be here and glad to be with you all. Such an august panel. So
thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And so we have one more person that will join us a little bit later. But while we're waiting for that person to get started, let me allow you all to introduce yourselves. So starting with the ladies, Franda, will you do us the honor of introducing yourself and kind of sharing who you are, where you're from, and what you do, and why
Okay.
this topic is important to you.
Okay, certainly. I am Dr. Franda Clay. I am a college professor of accounting and finance, um, an outdoor enthusiast, if you will, and the author of the Husband Journal. I am originally from the Atlanta, Georgia area, actually College Park, where I grew up, and I was born and raised, and left home at 18, did some time in the military, um, got married. I have now two adult kids, and unfortunately, my husband passed away. So I am a widow, and that's how I kind of connected with Shenita. And so now I live in the Hampton area, which is, not too far again from where Shenita lives. And any other fun facts about me, Shenita? I have a house full of fur friends, and just I feel like my daughters, as they say, I am in my side quest era. So I'm just kind of, doing my thing and living life and enjoying life to the fullest in this season.
Yes, and another fun fact is that you have found love again.
Yes, that is very true. And I know we'll get into that, but I feel like the timing is perfect in my life. So a lot of things, with being a widow and a single parent, adults now, or both of my children are both adults. So it's just a good time in my life right now to explore love and to, welcome a new partner.
Awesome. I love it. So next up, Vicky Holloway. Please introduce yourself and tell a few things about yourself.
I'm so happy to be here. My name is Vicky Holloway, and I met Shenita as the life after the rain, and I'm so happy because I lost my husband May 23rd, 2024. I mean 2023. So it's going on 2 years, and just having her in my life is such a ray of hope. There is life after the rain, and I worked at FedEx for 21 and a half years. I retired, and I'm really happy that every day is Friday for me. And that's exciting. I love theater. I majored in theater at Texas Christian University. I actually pursued that career. I did some Broadway, off Broadway. I did commercials. And, I really like the fact that I pursued my passion, even though I didn't get famous, but I enjoyed being on Broadway. My mom had a chance to come up and, experience that in New York. So I'm just happy to be in this place in my life. I have a beautiful daughter who called me like 2 hours after my husband died every day. 2 hours. What are you doing? What are you doing now? What are you doing now? You mean the hour ago, Simone, that you called me? But she checked on me. So it's just a blessing to have that support. My mom's still alive, and I just purchased a home yesterday, and I closed, and my mom and I are going to live together. So that's going to be fantastic. She will be 85 in April, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm so excited about being here. My husband, I don't know about anybody else, but he was the best husband ever. He made me feel like a queen, and I miss him dearly, but I can rejoice in the memories that we have. And if you make good memories, you have something to hold on to when they're gone. So thank you for having me. I talk too much anyway. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful introduction. Team Scales.
All right. Well,
Let's go first.
yes, thank you so much for having us. I am Carrie Scales. I am part of Team Scales. I know Dr. Shenita through my husband. We've actually been married for 2 years. We celebrated yesterday. We got married on my birthday 2 years ago. So we're celebrating still. Professionally, I am a speech language pathologist and a special education advocate for families across the globe. I'm also the author of a book for children with special needs to help advocate for them, learn about their services, learn what's available for them. And the book is called Jaden's Learning Super Team. It's available on Amazon. And I'm also available for consultations. If you're in that situation and you just got told you need an IEP or you need something for your student and you're not sure what's what, I'm the person you can reach out to.
I love it.
I love that field. I love working in communication. Everyone does need a voice, so everyone does need to have someone in their corner.
Absolutely. I love that.
Absolutely. So my name is James Scales Jr. I'm the second half of Team Scales. We met Dr. C 2003.
Yes.
So I was one of her first students in her summer camp, Youth Under Construction. So it's been a great journey. I've definitely learned to be more outspoken, to be myself under the tutelage of Dr. C. Professionally, I'm a electrical engineer, so I work in an electrical lab. So I work on lighting fixtures. Also on the side, I do graphic design. So a lot of the designs that you see coming from Dr. C, pretty much I'm, the creator of a lot of those flyers. Did a couple of her book covers. So that's what I do. And I also am a real estate photographer. So I kind of do a lot of things
Yes.
creatively.
Yes.
But it's great to be here. I'm always here to represent and always here to support you, Dr. C. So I appreciate the invitation.
Yes. Love you. Thank you. Last but certainly not least, we have Dr. Horton over here. If you would grace the audience with an introduction.
All right. Thank you so much, Shenita. And just to everyone, I think we all have stories that are very similar in nature. I met Shenita, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. I lost my wife 28 years. We were married, had a son, daughter, and I lost her to breast cancer in 2013. Oh, 2017. I'm sorry, 2017. I lost her to breast cancer. And she was a spectacular woman. I wrote a book about her, A Journey for Life. And I was running for office at the time when I finished the book. And I did it for just to capture the memories so that my grandchildren would have something to know about their grandmother. And that's when I met Shenita. I met Shenita then. And we were, I don't know if we were the first group. Back in 2017, we put the Life After Rain book together. There were 19 of us, I think 3 widowers and
17, 13 women and 14 women and 3 men. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. 17 of us then, and 3 widowers and 14 widows. And we had a great time fellowshipping together over years time in putting the book together. And at the book signing, which is really crazy because I had been dating, I was kind of doing the serial dating type deal where I was just trying to find the right person I would go out for one date. Somebody from church would invite you, say, hey, look, I want you to go out with this person. And I would go out with them. And right then, instantly, I knew that wasn't the person. And so we just have to go through with the date. But at the book signing, I had prayed to God. I said, please bless me with somebody that I could spend the rest of my life with. And lo and behold, this woman came up to after we completed the formal portion of the book signing, she came up to me and asked me to sign her book. And then she told Shenita, hey, Shenita, what I want you to do is I want to learn more about politics. And so Shenita told me about it. And believe it or not, I had met someone else at the book signing. And so anyway, bottom line is we started talking, and come to find out, she lost her husband 21 years from cancer, and just probably about 4 or 5 months earlier. And so we started dating back in 2009, 2018, and we jumped a broom in August of 2020, August of 2020. And my wife is a phenomenal woman, a woman of God, and I love her and adore her so much. And she is a superstar singer, And so I've been double blessed.
Wow.
Shenita, she's going to be. She just laid down a track, a love song. We were in Detroit, and she just happens to be from a very talented family of
Yes.
12 siblings, and her sister is you all know her sister is Vicky Winings, and so we've been I just been blessed. And so I in my profession, I'm the CEO for Christian City, CEO and president for Christian City, and I've been there 5.5 years and done some other things in state government and retired military. So God has been good to me, and I'm an associate pastor as well. So I've been extremely blessed. So God answered prayers. And so those I know is it Vicky?
Yes.
And those that are listening on this show, Vicky, and is it Dr. Frida Clay?
Franda.
Yeah, you will find that person. God will put that person in your life. I know He will.
Thank you.
We've had so many people in our class to really find love again.
Yes.
So I'm just so excited. The fact that Shenita, you invite me back and get a chance to just share with people that there is love after rain.
There is love, there is life. Franda has found love a second time, and I'm excited for her and so many others. We've got JC that's getting married next month. We have Janice who's getting married in June. So it's just so exciting to see the relationships develop and be open to it. So with that being said, I know I asked you guys to kind of talk about or bring a fun fact about Black history. So let's just intertwine that into this conversation. So James and Carrie, would you guys like to kick off the conversation about a fun fact in the Black history, the life of Black history?
Yeah, sure. Carrie had told me an interesting fact that she found, so I'll let her kick it off for us.
Yes. So although we're talking about love and relationships, I found one about brotherly love. Jackie Robinson was not the only notable athlete in his family. His older brother was Matthew Mac Robinson, and he was a successful runner. He ran in the 1936 Olympics, and he won the silver medal for the 200-meter dash, only second place to Jesse Owens.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Either.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. And I looked up mine, but I researched a brother named Emmett McHenry, who's actually very instrumental in creating the .com domain. So the dairy.com websites we are on, he was instrumental in creating the code for that. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Franda, Dr. Clay?
Sure. So mine, I would say probably ever since I can remember, every Christmas, my grandparents lived in North Augusta, South Carolina, and my grandfather would always sing chestnuts roasting on an open fire by Nat King Cole. And to me, his voice was so smooth and sultry, and it just brings back so many core memories. So I was able to find a Black history fact on Nat King Cole. So renowned singer and jazz pianist Nat King Cole was the first Black American to host a TV show, NBC's Nat King Cole Show. So yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
And that's kind of one of the reasons I fell in love with him and his music through my grandfather.
I love that. I love that. Vicky?
Yesterday, me and Pastor Green was riding down the road going to an appointment together. I'm sorry, y'all, I have a dual fairy friend. And we were talking about Black history. And she said, did you know that a Black woman was instrumental in developing the GPS system? I said, no, I didn't. I really didn't. Her name was Gladys West.
Yes.
And she helped develop the GPS. So when we put in our information and address on where we're going, it was a Black woman who helped develop that. So I was excited about that.
Yes.
She helped take us where we're going.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms.
Yes.
West.
Yes. Isn't that incredible?
Yes.
Keith?
You're on mute.
Mute.
Can you get off? Are you able to come off?
Yeah,
There
I
we
am.
go.
I apologize. Since we're talking about Black history and love, and I think most of us understand this about jumping the broom, but I just want to just share this with you. And some people may not understand how it originated, but jumping the broom was originated actually in the 1600s in what is now called Ghana. And that tradition was brought over by the slaves to America back in the 1600s, and it was done to ward off evil spirits. But what's interesting here is that they still use that particular jumping the broom to ward off menacing forces, which they were not allowed to even marry. And so I just think it's just it's a beautiful thing that from our culture, where we brought something from our culture to ward off evil spirits. And think about all the evil spirits that they had to deal with. They had to deal with the white man who didn't want them to get married, who would take their child, who didn't recognize marriage, who didn't recognize their spouse, and treated them like they were chattel. So, when I think about Black history, I think about the perseverance of love that we've had in our culture for centuries, century after century. I don't know if any other people on the face of this earth could have withstood and persevered what we went through as a race. And so I'm just very thankful for our ancestors for doing all the things and inventing the inventions that were created, as well as the love that they showed for each other and how they kept their culture during a very time.
That is so profound. And I just want us to remember that when we are annoyed with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are a great people and we stuck together back then. And we should do that even today, even the more, because the forces of evil are greater to me today in many ways. I want to bring my niece, Ashley Hayes, in. Ashley, hello, good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Ashley Hayes. I'm a cosmetologist here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This will be my 9th year in business. I'm super excited about that because it's been a journey. I'm doing great in stores. I'm working on my third beauty supply store here in Baton Rouge.
Yes. So you're Black history in the making in your family. Yes.
Yes.
And I want to share just the Black history fact. My sister, who is 70, she'll be 77 this year, my oldest sister, was the first Black woman to hold a seat as a city council member in my hometown of Pensacola, Florida. And so that was history in the making. And she held that seat for about 11 years.
Wow.
And so when I think of Black history, I try to also think about my family, my immediate family, where I think the first author in my immediate family. And I oftentimes think about my grandchildren, like Keith said earlier. He said he wanted to leave something for his grandkids to know their grandmother. And so I know that I won't live to see my great grands. So I wanted to make sure there's something out there that they can get an idea of who was she. I hear you guys talking about her. I could tell that you loved her. I could tell that she loved you. But can we get something tangible that we can put our hands on and kind of read between the lines? And so I think it's so important. And all of us really are authors. Almost all of us are authors. And I'm sure if those who have not become an author will become an author at some point in time. So I'm grateful. My other friend, JT, just joined us from Tampa, and he joined the conversation as well. Would you introduce yourself, unmute and introduce yourself, JT? Tell us where you're from. We're talking about love and Black history. Kind of tell us a little bit about what that means to you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, hi. Hello, everybody. I'm James from beautiful Tampa, Florida, where you can't shovel sunshine.
But did y'all have any snow recently?
What's that?
Did y'all have any snow recently?
We will never have snow in beautiful Tampa, Florida. Now Pensacola got some.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, but no. That dog don't hunt here. No.
So tell us a little bit about you and what love and Black history means to you, and just a little bit of where you're from and all of that.
Okay, well, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Spent 27 years in the military. Got out in 2005. Got a job with Lockheed Martin here in Tampa at MacDill Air Force Base. I've been working as a counterintelligence subject matter expert for the last 20 years. Going to retire on the 28th of June. Truly excited. First introduction to Black history was when I was at Fort Bragg and went to Fayetteville State University. Decided I was going to take an easy course, African American Studies. It was not easy at all. Had to find 100 Black inventors. So that put me on a path to understanding Black history in its fullest.
And respecting it, right?
Without a doubt.
Yes. And so JT is a widower also. And so
yeah, don't make me cry though. Don't make me cry. You're trying to
I know. You see, Dr. Keith Horton is a remarried widower.
Okay.
So you guys, and he's Army retired as well. So you guys have that in common.
All right, cool.
Yes. So so let's kind of talk about some things that we as African Americans or Black people, a message that we would like to send to the world, because this video will be here forever, right? Your children will be able to watch it, grandchildren, cousins, friends, whomever. And so I want to make sure that we are very mindful, thoughtful about sharing openly and honestly around the topic of love and Black history. So, James and Carrie, if there's something if you had an opportunity to share with the world your thoughts as it relates to Black history beyond what we've already shared, and love, that you want to leave, a message that you'd like to leave. I know you guys are newlyweds, 2 years in. I still say newlyweds.
Right. I guess I'll start. If I had to leave something with the world, I think, progress as far as when it as it refers to comes to Black history, progress starts from the family unit, from culture. It starts from the community. So if we want to, progress as a community, it starts with love. Loving, one another, loving our children, loving each other. So just that tidbit alone is what is going to propel us as a culture, as a Black community.
And James, you were blessed to be raised with both parents. Your parents are still together.
Absolutely.
I love them dearly. And, you were unlike many people who did not grow up and have that example. So that is the foundation of your relationship with Carrie. And likewise, Carrie, with you, because she grew up in a 2-parent home, and the foundation of love that was set before you all leads you today.
And they're definitely integrated. My parents definitely, since they're here, her parents are overseas, but she connects with her mom and her dad very often. With my parents being here, they're definitely a foundation, a stronghold who we can go to when we're having some disagreements and things of that matter. They have came through plenty of times. So that's definitely a great foundation that we can look to for our strength and our help.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Carrie?
And I would say, in addition to the progress that we are making, we're making Black history every day, and we're making history for everyone every day, because our culture is so rich and so vast that we are innovators within ourselves as Black people, that we create the styles, we create the trends, we create the ideas, we create the inventions, we create the technology for others across the globe. So we are the trendsetters. We are the ones who are creating the history for the world.
Absolutely.
And embrace it.
Absolutely. Could not have said it any better. Ashley,
Ma'am.
if you had the opportunity to share a message about love and Black history that you wanted to leave this word or final words with the world, what would you share?
I don't know. I would say to be more gentle. I feel like our community haven't been as gentle with each other and understanding. So being more gentle and understanding and sharing experiences, because it always been secrets in our community. So just sharing experiences, I feel that will help us move forward.
Absolutely. I think by sharing experiences helps others overcome when they're faced with those same challenges in life. And so I think we can be the example of what we want to see, and having conversations like this will help others as well. And it starts in the home, as Team Scale said. Sometimes you can just have conversations with your family and your friends, and that will ignite a desire for change sometimes with people. So thank you for that. Dr. Franda?
I think my thing would be the beauty of Black love and how that love transcends generations. And sometimes, we do come from families where, unfortunately, one of the parents passes away. But what I've tried to instill in my daughters and show them is that, even though their father did not live to see them grow to be adults, that his love still remains with us. So they got to see us be in a loving relationship when they were growing up, and to let them know that that love is still in our family. Just because that person's physical body is no longer there, the seeds that they planted, the things that they did, the foundation that they laid for generations beyond, just us, still there. So I never take for granted, all the things that he did for us, all the amazing times that we had together. My daughters and I still laugh and joke and, make fun of him just as if we're still here, because that's just a part of how we've healed over the years, and talking about him in the present tense versus the past tense. And, even, sometimes we even talk about, later on in life, when I get to heaven or when they get to heaven, the conversations we're going to have with him. And, just kind of making sure that you keep that person's memory alive, and you continue to grow, but you never completely, leave them behind. So I think that is an important part of continuing the love, continuing the good times, and sharing how you feel in the moment about the things that you're reflecting on.
Mm-hmm. Legacy.
Yes.
That legacy lives on.
Yes.
Thank you for keeping him present and alive. Vicky, you're on mute.
I think the word endurance comes to my mind when I think about love and Black history, because my parents, when I was young in the first grade, separated. And at that time, she sent me and my brother down to live in Alabama, in Woodland, Alabama, in the rural South. And we went to a school that was built out of a chicken coop. I didn't think about it at the time until I got older. And there was no running water in that school. And the boys had to go across the road to draw water and bring it back to school. We had an outhouse to go to the bathroom. And I, at the time, I didn't think about it because Miss Boozley was my teacher. And even though it was like first, second, third grade, all in one room, I didn't think about what was going on until I was older because of the love of that teacher. She saw something more for us. She taught what she knew. She loved us all. She gave her very best. And I loved that teacher and I learned a lot. And then as I got older and went back home, and grew up, I said, wow, we all had to go to school in a chicken coop in the 60s.
Wow.
And while the white children were going to regular schools, were running water. But I realized what endurance meant to me as a child and to my teacher, Ms. Boozley, who saw that it was more important for us to learn than in the conditions that we were learning in.
Wow.
And I thank God for her and all our ancestors who fought for us to have schools. Segregation was bad, integration was better, but I think about us enduring. And in times like we even living in today, I think that's part of our culture, our nature is to endure. I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah.
We've endured a lot, and I totally agree with you. So, JT, will you share with us, your take on leaving a message, a profound message about love and Black history for your grands, great grands, or just the world in general?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was listening to what everyone had to say, and I think it's about brand and legacy, right? So I look at it from a standpoint of my brand are my kids, and the legacy are the grandkids. So I think I'm going to concentrate more on the legacy part because the brand is already there. It's those legacy. It's that legacy that I'm going to leave with those 7 grandkids. That's what's really important for me. That's that love for Black history because they will be my Black history. So,
yes. I like that. And you and I have talked about getting your affairs in order and what your intentions are for your, to leave behind for your loved ones. And you've been very intentional about that, making sure that things are in order for them, which is a part of that legacy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I call it educational blackmail. It's educational blackmail. They will have some money set aside, but they have to reach certain goals. And their goals include a college education or a trade craft. And the money left for them will not be used for a car or to pay off a credit card. That money left will be used for them to purchase a home, creating generational wealth. So that's my whole goal. So we talked about that.
Yes, I love that. I love it. So when we think about what we have done, like we have authors here. Franda is an author. Keith is an author. Carrie is an author. JT is an author. Let's kind of talk about what does that mean really to us. I've shared a little bit about, my thoughts on it. But Keith, will you share with us the previous question, the love and Black history, and how important it is to have this legacy documented?
All right, so I'm going to answer that first question. I think we are and when it comes to Black history and love, I think we're one of the most forgiving people on the face of the earth. And that's an actual trait of love, the love that we have. I mean, you can enslave us, treat us wrong, and years later, we still accept you. We might not trust you completely, but we will accept you as our brother and sister. And that takes a lot to overcome. So I think that's something that is built into our DNA as a people, as a culture, where we are forgiving. And we have that love for all people, not just for those who treat us right, but those who oppress us and those who don't treat us right. I think we should never forget. We should never forget that we are a strong, creative, smart, loving people who know how to persevere through any type of crisis or situation that seems very bleak for most people. And I think one of the things that I would say that we need to always remember is never, ever lose sense of who we are and what our worth is. And what I mean by that, we're just as good as anybody else. I think sometimes we struggle with that, and it comes through with our relations. It bears out through our relations with other people and our relationships with other people. Sometimes we feel like we are less than. We're not. We're just as good as anybody else. And so I think if we always remember to keep our head up high, and that God created us and he created us equally with everybody else.
Yes.
So the legacy part of being an author, one of the things that I used to read a lot, and I still read now, but I used to read a lot when I was my 15 years ago when I was finishing up my career in the military. And I would read a lot of stuff on politics and because I was just really inclined to know more about politics and see how things work. And I got tired. I had some thoughts of my own. And I think one of the things that I would encourage those of you who have not written a book, because everybody on here on this show has some experience, has some valuable experience that they can share with someone else. And I think one of the things that led me to writing was the fact that I thought my opinions were just as good as everybody else's that I read. Now I knew I was going to be on Oprah's, show, but I thought my opinions were just as valuable. And if they were able to help someone, then I wanted to document forever. And then certainly the last book that I wrote about my wife, I wanted to leave a legacy for my children. I wanted them to understand who their grandmother was. She was a spectacular woman, and I was blessed to be married to her. So I think that's it. And then now I'm writing a new chapter about my current wife because she's just as amazing. Yeah. And so God has blessed us. I think God has blessed us, especially those who are engaged or about to be married again with a new love. And I'm gonna tell you something. One of the things, and I know you haven't asked this question, Shenita, yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and prompt you anyway.
Yes.
One of the things about the new relationship that I have now with my wife, I have some. I don't have any regrets, but I had some missed opportunities with my first wife for 28 years. We were trying to get our careers. She was working on her career. I was working on my career, that we had missed opportunities. I told my current wife, I said, look, we can't have those missed opportunities anymore. We're in the fourth quarter of our lives, and we need to live life and not have those missed opportunities. So I'm trying to create some memories with my new wife, and we're doing that. And I'm thankful to God that he's blessed me with somebody that we can both share our lives with and live the fourth quarter of our lives together.
Yes. And when you say missed opportunities, tell the people what you mean when you say that. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like there are times where we would forego a trip. We had the money, but it was, I'm too busy, or I had so much time off banked up, and I thought my job was more important. And so we'll say, oh, we'll do that next year, and we'll put it off, and we would go places and do things. But those missed opportunities of doing things that we could do as a couple that we fantasized about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we all have fantasies. Yes. We all have fantasies, and that's some things that we could have done that we fantasize about. I'm not going to tell you what mine are. I'm not going to tell you that.
But I appreciate that.
Fantasies, 28 years, and we didn't get a chance to do all the fantasies that we wanted to do.
I love it.
With
And
marriage, you can do those
you
things.
You and Mary are enjoying that journey right now, right?
Yeah, we be fantasizing. It's a little different now when you're older. It's a little different now.
So now we can speak to this young couple right here and give them some better advice.
Yeah,
Don't
y'all
delay.
Y'all need to go and do all the fantasies, all the stuff that God has blessed y'all to do, whatever you want to do as a couple.
Yes.
Yeah, we try not to miss opportunities. We definitely go on the trips that we want to go on.
Yeah.
Do the fantasies you want to do and just live life. So even with we bought this house. It's been 2 years now, and we furnished it to how we wanted to furnish it, right out the get go. So there's no home projects that we had to do. We wanted to do it how we wanted to do it. So we definitely try not to miss any opportunities, but we understand that it can be easy too, as you know, because life goes on. Like so, you have to work, things of that matter. You have, everything going on in the world. So it is easy, but we try to make a conscious effort to not miss those opportunities.
And as a couple, I think, and all of us will say that, Dr. Franda, Vicky, JT, Keith, Dr. Horton will all say to you guys, it is easier to create wealth as a couple versus solo. And so to you all, as you are, navigating through life, and living your purpose individually and collectively, creating wealth, financial wealth, and leaving a legacy for whether it's your children to come or family members or organizations that you choose to give to, whatever that looks like for you all. So take advantage of this opportunity to create that wealth as a couple and enjoy the fruits of your labor, as Keith said, and all of those things. So let's think about some parting words. I know Ashley has been having a challenge getting on. It must be her connection. But as we are nearing the close, I want you guys to share your information with the audience on how they can purchase your books, how they can contact you if they would like to be in contact with you. Would you start with that, Franda? Dr. Franda?
Yes, absolutely. So I can be reached at frandaclay@gmail.com for a copy of the Husband Journal. I'm also on social media on Facebook, Franda Clay, and on Instagram at Dr. Franda Clay. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Vicky, is there any information that you would like to share with the audience on how they can contact you if they choose to? Email address?
Hold on, I'm on mute. Vicky Holloway at gmail.com. I love children, and I have puppets, great for parties, and I would love to be a part of your parties. So contact me if you need a puppet or a clown or just anybody to act silly with the kids.
And is it proper to say ventriloquist?
It is.
Okay. So Keith, she's a ventriloquist.
I should have brought Dee Dee so you can see her.
Yes. Because Keith is over Christian City, which encompasses adults and children.
Okay, great. And of course, I do hula hoop, and I do one hula hoop for my age. So last year I did 67 hula hoops.
She's a bad girl.
I'll do 68 hula hoops. And I hope I get to do 80 hula hoops.
Right. So thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Ashley, I know you've been having a few challenges with getting your connection.
Oh my God.
So while we have you, I would love for you to share some parting words and how people can contact you or find your products, because I know not only are you an excellent hairstylist, but you have products out there.
Yes. I'm on Instagram at Luminous Hair by Ashley. The link to buy the hair growth oil is in my bio. That's about it.
Any parting words you'd like to share with the audience about love and Black history?
I'm sorry.
I say any parting words that you'd like to share with the audience regarding Black history and love? Any message?
Well, it's made with the love because I myself. It's great for hair growth. I know our edges are very important to us Black women, so it helps nourish our scalp and edges. And it has a great smell, a great scent to it.
And I can vouch for that. She is doing her thing. So please check her out. Again, share the name of your page.
My connection is horrible.
Luminous Hair by Ashley. All right. So with that being said, JT, parting words, wisdom, how they can get your book, because you're an author as well, etc.
They don't need to buy the book. If they want a book, just hit Shenita up and I'll mail it to you. It's too easy. Parting words, something I've been saying all week. If it costs you your peace, it's too expensive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I run when it disturbs my peace. Anybody will tell you, I will run from you. They'll be like, where's Shenita? You're not going to be able to find me because I run from disturbances. So thank you for that. Keith.
Okay. Let me get off. Am I muted?
You're good. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm social media challenged. So if you want to hit me up at ASCNUPE, that's Albany State College, Noop. I'm a Kappa, 83 at AOL.com. That's how you can reach me, or you can reach Shenita. And I like, is it JC or JT?
JT.
JT. I'm like JT. Just contact you, and I'll mail them a book as well.
Yes.
No problem with that.
So,
and then my favorite saying of anything is a quote by George Washington Carver. And I have this framed in my office. No individual has any right to come into the world and go out of it without leaving behind him distinct and legitimate reasons for having passed through it. That is what I live by.
That is profound. And we all need to take heed to those words. Our birth date, our end date, there's work to do. And we need to make sure that we're progressively moving in that direction every day, little bit. As I aged to reach 60 in October, I started thinking about my checklist and I'm behind. So I don't know when that end date is. So it is important for us to capitalize on the time that we have while we have it. Versus, like Keith said, putting off this trip to go here, do that. Plan for those things and make it happen. JT is a world traveler. He loves to travel. Keith, you know who else is an amazing traveler? Is Floyd Gant.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Floyd and his wife.
Okay.
I talked to him today, and he was telling me next week they'll be leaving to go out of the country, like you and your wife just recently did. And I just love that. Like they don't waste any time. They do the family thing, but they definitely get together and do the husband and wife thing.
Good.
So it's important for us to take advantage of, start the business, write the book, teach the class, get the education, whatever those goals are. Like Vicky, she's a ventriloquist. She went into theater. She still has the opportunity to act with that sidekick, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you to each of you for sharing in this conversation about love and Black history, because they definitely go hand in hand. And as I said to James and Carrie and Dr. Clay earlier, I'm Black and I'm proud.
Say it loud.
Yes, I'm Black and I'm proud. And I don't have any animosity towards any race. I love all people.
Amen.
I definitely love being Black. So thank you all for your time this evening. Ashley, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, your internet was challenged tonight. So,
Yes.
but I thank you for the effort to be present. And
Yes.
I'm proud of you as a young Black female starting your business and having your mom to look up to as an entrepreneur and so many other people along the journey.
Yes.
I just appreciate who you are and watching you grow and develop. James and Carrie as well. So I appreciate that.
Yes.
What were you going to say, Ashley?
I said I appreciate you for supporting me every step of the way and your encouraging words always. You always motivated me. You always pushed me to keep going. You always supporting me. And I appreciate that.
Yes, I love you.
That's what we need in our community to keep going.
We do. We do. We need more love.
Amen.
So, well, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Today is February 27th. Tomorrow is February 28th, the last day of the month. We all know what we are doing tomorrow and what we're not doing. So I want to encourage us to keep going. Thank you, Terry. Terry Crook said, good show. So she is an amazing host of her own talk show. So that means the world to me. So if you guys ever need a host for an event, this is your lady right here. Let me just tell you. She's right here in Fayetteville, Georgia. Terry Crook. So keep that in mind. All right. So anything else you guys want to share before we cut out? All hearts and minds are good. James, Carrie, y'all want to say anything about people getting in touch with you? I know I shared your information. Anybody? James, you want to shout something out?
Well, you definitely get in touch with me if you need any graphical work. I've chosen to put 100% in real estate photography. So if you're selling a property, you can definitely get in touch with me, realtyvisionphotography.com. You can literally Google Realty Vision Photography. You can find it on Google. So get in touch with me. But like I said, if you need graphic works, flyers, flyer design, t-shirts, book covers, get in touch with me at silencerScales87@gmail.com. Please support my wife and her book.
That's right.
Jaden's Learning Super Team.
Yes.
And I do want to say I love my wife. I really do. I didn't say that all show, but communication is key. And since we've been able to evolve and work on our communication, we are definitely the best of friends, lovers, husband and wife. So I love you very much.
And I love you too.
Absolutely. So I thank you again for the support, and thank y'all as far as co-hosts. Good to see y'all. Good to be on the panel with you all.
Same.
And let me give you guys a little tip. I recommended to James and Carrie when I first found out about Elevate, the program that's offered through the University of Georgia, and they took my advice in their dating season, took that course, and it elevated their relationship. And so I want to give a kudos to them for even saying yes and trusting me to direct them to something that was meaningful and added value to their relationship. So kudos to y'all.
Thank you for the suggestion. It was a great, great start for us.
Absolutely.
Great foundation.
Yes. So I love you all. Thank you all. Dr. Clay, Vicky, JT, Dr. Keith, the Scales, Team Scales, and last but certainly not least, my beautiful niece, Ashley. Thank you all so much. And to the audience, thank you all for being present. And I hope that whether you watch this real time or in the replay, that it blesses you immensely.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hold tight, y'all.